What has something more in common with relationships besides communication? I'll give you a second to think about that. Finished? Well, to be honest, it's nurturing. Now think about that for a second. Why would it be nurturing? Nurturing and relationships, how do they go hand in hand? Well, throughout my speech, I'm going to tell you about how nurturing and relationships go hand in hand. And just like my last speech, if you check that out, it's actually on my YouTube, without one, you cannot have another. Now, think about it like this. You're an infant. You're not even born yet. You're inside of your mother's stomach. You're being nurtured. You're being cared for. Your mother's feeding herself. She's taking care of you. She might play music by her stomach. Anything like that, she's nurturing and caring for you. Same thing goes. That's how you build. That's the beginning building block for a relationship. That will help you down the road when you're older. Now, as you grow up from infancy and you become, say, an adolescent or a teen or even a young child, you're still building off those same building blocks of nurturing that you had when you were younger. Now, so say when you're a child. When you're a child, your parents are still caring for you. You're still under their roof, and you have to do what they say, but they say they buy you food, they buy you what you want, they buy you birthday presents, they make you happy, and they nurture a relationship between the two. Father, son, mother, son, and then like brother, sister, stuff like that, etc. Then when you grow up from a child, you're a teen, you're an adult. When you're in the adult world, those same exact keys to success of a nurturing a relationship that happened when you were a child or when you were an infant or when you were in your mother's womb are the same exact steps you will have to take when you are older in order to have a relationship last. And that is why nurturing and relationships go hand in hand. Now, as I continue, when you are actually a full-grown adult, you'll need nurturing in relationships in many ways. As I spoke upon on my last speech with communication and relationships, in nurturing a relationships, it's almost the same because when you nurture a relationship, you're going to have to do that in the 3 fields or even more when you are older. Those fields are when you have a job, when you're looking to settle down, maybe have a significant other, and then when it comes to, like I said, with your job, money handling, children, your life in general, there's way more than 3. So let me start off with your job. Now, you need to nurture the relationship with your job in more than one way, obviously. So when you first get your job or when you're applying for your job, it is important to look good, feel good. That's communicating right there, and you're nurturing that relationship. That's why the communication comes in from the last speech. You want to make sure that you're making a good impression, and a first good impression is the perfect way to start off the relationship with a bang. Now, after that, once you actually have a relationship with your boss or, say, another coworker, you nurture the relationship by doing things that are the right thing to do within your field. You do your job and you do it well. That's nurturing the relationship, that's doing well. Even if you and your boss don't necessarily get along, if you are doing what's right in that position, then guaranteed you're still nurturing the relationship. Even if the boss might not like you, you bite your tongue and you do what you have to do. Furthermore, later in life, when it comes to love or when it comes to a bigger relationship, besides just friendship goes hand in hand with business too, because like friendship and business, you kind of treat them the same way. Friendship's obviously a little bit more, it's more worthwhile than business because you can always leave a job, but leaving a friend sometimes is a lot harder. But friends is a lot closer to love. And love obviously is the hardest to attain and it's the hardest to keep. But once you have it, you want to nurture that relationship extremely well. And that's where nurturing and relationships go hand in hand probably the most. Because when you think about it, love, who do you love? When you're an infant, when you're a child, you love your parents, you love your family, the same ones that nurtured you, that taught you this value of nurturing in the beginning of your life. That value is going to be carried with you into love, into your biggest love, hopefully, which is when you get married to your significant other. And so when you're in that relationship, you want to take those same values of nurturing that were taught when you were younger, such as showing love, showing support, showing care to the person that you are with. And so at the end of the day, nurturing and relationships do go hand in hand because they're like together, you were taught them from such a young age that when you build it up to when you're older, you always want to nurture your relationships. If you really care about it that much, and that is why really nurturing and relationships go hand in hand. Without one, you can't have another because you need to nurture relationships in order to keep them stable and keep them healthy. A healthy relationship is not healthy without nurturing it.